What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all doing really well. Now, a subscriber asked me to do a 4-4-1-1 formation, so yeah, of course I'm going to do that for you guys. It's not a problem, and it is still a very good formation. It is still a meta formation, and it is still used by the pros. Yes, yeah, 95% of the pros still use the 4-4-1-1 formation, as well as the 4-2-1-3 formation. This formation, in my opinion, the 4-4-1-1-2, beats the 4-2-1-3. Not hands down, but beats it. Has a slight advantage that the 4-2-1-3 doesn't have, and that is what I like about this formation. So, these are the players I'm using in front of you. We have the usual suspects. We have Navas, we have Ferdinand, we have Konate, waiting for him to get an upgrade. We have Mendy, of course, Mendy is an absolute beast. We have Nani, left wing. You can absolutely put anybody in there that you want to put in there. I mean, personally, I've used Hansen, I've used Beckham on the wings, I've used Okocha on the wings, Garnacho on the wings. Doesn't matter, the wings are the wings, so that's where we've got it there. Roberto we used in the midfield. Palmer, Cam, really decent striker of the ball, good dribbling as well. Not overly quick. He's slower than his 85 pace suggests. So, but that is what it is. Joelinton, obviously, we're evoing into the 91. Elise is just an amazing card, and if you can get your hands on him, he is highly recommended. And of course, Ronaldo up front. Now, these are not necessarily meta players, but they are decent enough players to make this formation work. So, let me jump in now. I've got this set up. Now, this is quite an aggressive formation, so bear that in mind. So we have it set up, like as I said, the 4-4-1-1 midfield. We have it on short passing. So what the short passing does, it means players will come to the ball rather than running away from the ball, because obviously a lot of times they turn their back on you and they run, they're already sprinting and they're off. And that's when the passes get intercepted. So I like short passing because it allows for that patient build-up style of play, and that you have better passing options. And then defensive approach. Now this is an interesting one. We have this set to aggressive. We don't have it on 95, we have it on 91. 95 I found, or 95 and above, I found is too much. We're out of position a lot of the times. 91 is about right, especially if you want to win the ball higher up the pitch. So that's where we have that set up. Now I'm going to drop in the gameplay as always, but before I do that, please hit that like button. Please subscribe as well if you haven't already. That would be an absolute amazing for me. And yeah, let me drop in the gameplay. I'll show you how this bad boy works, and then we'll come back and I'll show you all the individual instructions as well as the code. So of course I'm going to show you the gameplay clips, which are specifically against 4-2-1-3. Yeah, 4-2-1-3 users. I needed to think there. I've had a mind blank. But yeah, so you'll see it on your screen anyway, what I'm talking about. And there's a reason why we have certain players set up the way we have them set up. So bear that in mind. This is why you need to watch the gameplay clips. And then at the end of the video, I'll show you the player roles, and then everything will make sense, and you'll be sitting there thinking, okay, cool. Now I understand why that's set up the way that is. But for now, let's just show you how this beauty plays. And you can see kind of we've got 4 in the box. Nice little sweaty goal to get us back to 1-1, but we're not finished there. So he tries to use the wingers as his out balls, but there's a little not a little trick, there's a little plan that we have for the player roles to stop that happening, because a lot of people do get caught with the left wing and the right wing. So especially if your left back and right back is out of position, so we can nullify that, and I'll show you again the way we've got the player roles set up to help you beat that. And then from here, with somebody like Elise who has that finesse shot, especially a left-footed player on the right side and a right-footed player on the left side, it's not a must, but it works an absolute treat. So yeah, we went from 1-0 down to 2-1 up, and we're in the 78th minute, 79th minute. We're not finishing now. No. We're going to keep flying forward. You can see his bank of 4, and then his 2 midfield players, his holding midfield players. We bypass this midfield so easy. And then from here, this here is very simple and very easy, and that is how you break down this 4-2-1-3 formation, because it cannot handle the late runners from the players you have set up in midfield. It really only has one way of playing the 4-2-1-3, and that is the outballs to the wingers. And if you can stop the outballs to the wingers, you're going to do things like this, and then you're just gonna absolutely smash them. You're gonna smash them. And like 4-1, guy quits, gives up. He's had enough. Nice little nutmeg on the goalkeeper there from Carl Palmer. But honestly, I don't have the best of players, but we absolutely make up for that with the formations that we have. Now we move on to the second game. Now this guy's using the 4-2-3-1 formation, and that is very defensive minded setup. It's very solid in defence. It's very difficult to break down. But you can see from here, straight from kickoff, once you get the rhythm going, you get the passing going. It's very difficult to stop this 4-4-1-1 formation, especially when you have players that have the right traits in the right position. So bear that in mind. So I would highly recommend having a Salah or an Elise or somebody like that with a finish. They will get you out of so much trouble. But from here you can see we're not overly committed. We're holding the ball in certain positions, getting it out to our outball, which is winning a nice little pass from Nani to Ronaldo in the box there. He can't defend that. And there we go. We're 2-1 up, and I'll just show that we closed this game out. So that's 6 goals in 2 games so far, and we just closed this game out 2-1. It's as simple as that, guys. Honestly, this formation is amazing. I said I was using it in the FUT Champs, and that's exactly what we was using it for as well. We was using it in every single possible game mode, even in friendlies. We were using this formation because it was so good. And yeah, so a couple of FUT Champs gameplay clips here. The thing is always worth showing FUT Champs because it plays so differently compared to rivals or friendlies or anything like that. So what we do in rivals doesn't necessarily translate across to FUT Champs, and vice versa, because obviously you've got different levels in rivals, different levels in FUT Champs. You never know who you're going to come up against in FUT Champs, whereas you kind of know who you're going to come up against in rivals because they're a similar level to what you are. So yeah, that is why it's definitely worth showing you it in different scenarios, basically. And also, not only that, we use different players all the time. So I had quite a lot of loan players. Now, normally I discard loan players, but my son was badgering me to use them. He said, put them in your squad, give them a try, let's try these players out. So that is exactly what we did. So we've got Zidane there. Yeah, we had him on a 20-game loan, so we might as well use him. We had Hansen on a loan. There were quite a few players on loan, so yeah, we just thought, why not? Let's use him. That Zidane card was crazy good. I think I still got some games left with him. I'm going to try and hold on to him for a little bit longer because yeah, that's a good card as well. But players like Nani, Roberto, the agility of these guys is ridiculous. And what you'll find in FUT Champs especially is a lot of people will go to the meta, and they'll also look for the meta players. So of course meta players are players like Cruyff, Mbappe, Vinny Jr. As you can see, I don't have any of those players. I have very cheap, simple players, even free players. Unless I've been extremely lucky. I mean, like players like Ronaldo, for example, there's only 100k. Nani was a free, well, an SBC card. I'm trying to think of who else. I got Gundogan was a free card. Evo'd Joelinton. Roberto was relatively cheap as well because I had a lot of fodder. So, you know, a lot of these players are attainable for most of us. You don't necessarily have to have the meta, especially if you have the right setup. I've said this hundreds of times and I'm going to keep repeating it. As long as you have the right player roles and the right tactics that suit your style, that suit the players that you have, honestly, it's all you need at this point in time. And you can see here this 4-4-1-1 formation is just destroying most formations that I'm coming up against. And of course, FUT Champs being FUT Champs, and I've said it before about the meta is the 4-2-1-3 formation. That is the go-to formation at the minute. So we do beat that quite a lot. We didn't go and beat a nice free kick there from Nani, by the way. We didn't go unbeaten. We did lose, but we won more than we lost. So yeah, one thing you can guarantee with this formation is you are going to score lots and lots and lots of goals. Now this isn't typically set up like you think it would be, so bear that in mind when I talk to you about how I've got this set up. So one thing you'll get from this formation is you'll get good balance in defence, you'll get good balance in attack, you'll get major passing options. You won't be too aggressive in the respect of out of position when running forward. You will have to make sacrifices in the respect of holding the ball up, a few skill moves to get players in the correct position and get them running forward. It's just the way it is with this formation. But once you do that, you will literally destroy the AI. AI defending cannot deal with this formation, and that is the beauty of this formation. And we are slightly set up differently. So we are using players, for example. So left back and right back, we have on full back and defend. We're not having them bombing forward. We want them to stay. We want the back four to stay where it is. We do not want it to move. However, we are using defenders with the plus player roles. So they are using their world class settings, which makes a massive difference. You don't have to do it all over the pitch, but I think in the most important places it's good. So defending a given, Joel Linton I've got on defend, and Roberto, sorry, I've got on box to box balance. Now it could work either way around. They're not neither of them are a defending type of player, so it doesn't really matter how you do that. So I'm not too fussed about having a you know a Stonewall DM in there, if you like. I just want somebody strong enough to just handle that role. Joel Linton does that. His physicality is crazy. So let's get onto the wing. So we're going to use Nani, for example. He's the winger plus plus. So therefore, he will stay on the outside. Elise is an inside forward, so he's more supporting the striker. Now, that is what I want from Elise in particular, because Elise has that finesse. He has that finesse shot. You want to take advantage of that, whereas Nani has the skills and the trickery and the agility to beat a man, whereas Elise is a little bit too big, but he has that finesse shot. So you'll see it if you've watched the gameplay clips. Where you can hit finesses all day. So you could use a Salah in that position, for example. So that's why we have him set on inside forward. Obviously, we have winger for Nani. Palmer, we have on shadow striker and attack. Again, want him to support the advanced forward attacker, which is Ronaldo in this instance. So what it looks like with the ball, it looks like this. So you're going to have, your striker and your cam very, very close together. You're going to have Elise not far behind. So he's more or less playing. It more or less plays as like a 4-2-1-3 type of. It's really hard to describe unless you look at the radar when you're playing the game. But you can see here, it looks like a 4-4-2. It's hard. It's so hard to describe what I'm trying to say. So he will sit closer to Ronaldo and Palmer. He will sit more out of the way. So he's your out ball every single time. So if you do find yourself with the left back or right back and you're struggling to find an out ball, Nani is the out ball. So you're using the fast winger as an out ball, using Elise because of his wicked left foot. That's why I've got it in there and got it the way it's set up. And defensively, it's absolutely solid. We have won so many games with this formation. We have actually gone up 2 divisions using this formation. We've done our foot champs with this formation, and we also did our qualification with this as well. So bear that in mind. We are using this formation. It's a very good formation, and I absolutely love it at the minute. And it definitely beats the 4-2-1-3 hands down. So yeah, bear that in mind. Hit that like button if you like to see. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, everybody take care and look after themselves.